The problem is always the transitions. You got that one shot of Wombat just staring at his phone right before we went to that.
I just got
hello.
mail. I just got mail. Mover mailbag.
Well,
I just got mail.
you were in the middle. He's a staple of the mover mailbag. Welcome, all 28 of you. Glad of you to join us on this Saturday. That's not Friday. Yeah, that's show business. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
But we're here today, and we've got a lot of mail. And Wombat's here. In case you don't know Wombat, he drives a Mustang.
Come on, is there not a better?
And he's the author, T.R. Matson, Wombatius Maximus, Treason Flight, arguably the best book in the history of naval aviation. Did you see Top Gun Maverick yet?
Not yet. My wife and I are going to go see it soon, but we need to find somebody to watch Isaac.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I got a lot of mail to go through. We'll get to your stuff in a second, but since it's my show,
no, we don't have to get to my stuff.
We got to get through some stuff. So this first one here, did you know it's going to be good when it comes from Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Or it's got anthrax. I don't actually open these prior to the mailbag, so
I was going to ask you that.
Take over, dude.
You really don't
take over.
Open these before?
I don't have people. If you want to kill me, this is probably the best way.
That's pretty insane that you don't open them prior to being live.
It's a picture of Hong Kong.
That is a very nice picture of Hong Kong. I've been to that harbor on a much not nice weather day.
Doesn't say anything on the back, so I can't. And if it does, I can't read it. It says Sim Sha Sui Ferry Pies appear located at the southernmost tip of Sim Sha Sui. Dude, why are you asking me to read this? Anyway, it's a pedestrian ferry to Hong Kong Island. All right.
Cool.
Here's another. Oh, dude, check this out.
I can't see it. Put it closer.
It moves.
Ooh, that is neat.
It, like, depending on how you look at it, it moves. Also, no words on the back.
So to speak. So not. I'm not good with these Air Force ways.
Somebody commented on the Top Gun Maverick video that triggered everybody so long. And I said, that's what she said. But I don't know if they were saying so long like goodbye because they were so triggered they're out forever, or so long like the movie was so long, or so long like our 30-minute video was so long. So I don't.
Could be all three. Could be all three. Yeah, I watched that whole video, all 30 minutes of it.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was a long video.
Were you triggered? Oh,
no.
Here we go.
No.
Dear Mover, I wish you have a very good start for year 2022 from Eric. This was on January. He sent this on January 11th, and I just got it. That's crazy.
You need to check your mail more often.
No, dude. No, I checked it. That's just how long it takes to come from the People's Republic.
Oh.
He says, Mover, thanks for your content. As long as the communist China does not block Google and YouTube, I will continue to watch. Thanks for your very. I didn't add that.
Nope, I believe you. I believe you.
Thanks for your very great YouTube channel and content. I always enjoy. Thanks for sharing your struggle, and may the Lord bless your career on time and on. Yours truly, Eric. Well, thanks, Eric.
That's nice.
He says, last time I sent you the more normal Peak Tramway postcard, this time as an official 3D version, plus another one from Star Ferry's Peer View. Enjoy. Always remember how the Americans helped us during my great-grandparents, grandparents, and my mom and dad's generation. That is awesome. See, that's
cool. Very cool.
And I guess this is, he said he sent a private letter. So this is the private letter. I won't read this on the thing for fear of China coming after him or whatever. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, Eric. That was really cool. This next one I have not opened also.
That's unreal that you don't open them. God, that makes this so authentic.
Dude, that's, look, it's literally...
No, I know. It's just scary.
This dude super sealed it. I didn't open this one because I was like, it should be easy, but it's not. The Hallmark card. And Luna's right here thinking that it's dog treats.
Nice.
It's an American flag. Greatest flag.
So, are you in distress?
Hello, Mover. Charlie Daniels, singer of... Didn't Charlie Daniels sing some songs?
Mm-hmm. Devil Went Down in Georgia, right?
I don't remember if I've sent you one of these before, but I wanted to send you a small token of appreciation for all you've done and continue to do. It's always a treat to see you see and watch your YouTube posts. Keep them coming. Thank you again for all you've done protecting my freedom. Never give up. Never give up, dude. Never down, never out.
That's
and this is an RMO. Oh, cool. It's thank you for yours. Really cool. Okay. Now we get into the containers.
Wait, does that look like this card?
Yeah, you got one too?
And this coin? Yeah, he sent me one too. That's awesome. Good for him.
Well, I got a shirt. And it says, Mover, saw this and thought you should definitely have one. Thanks again for your help on a T-38 model video, Max Afterburner channel. Remember the Max Afterburner channel? That model is sitting on my mantle, so to speak. Tomcats. Pearl Harbor Museum. I'm gonna wear this. Although I have to wear it backwards so y'all can see it while I wear it. All right. And for the last one, this is like Christmas. So this is an interesting thing. Microsoft emailed me, like the company, or as Raymond says, Microsoft's, and they said, "Hey, what's your address?" Said,
"Hey, can Microsoft email me?"
Well, I don't know.
I'd love to jump on this bandwagon.
Hey, somebody asked, is that a toilet chair in your corner? Is
that is the coolest chair. Like, anybody who's ever sat in that chair is like, this is the most comfortable chair ever.
Look at this, dude. Holy crap. Oh, dude, you're going to love this. Well, you're probably going to make fun of me for being a nerd, but I'm going to love it.
Seriously, most comfortable chair. Wow. Yeah. Can you put my email on there for Microsoft at all?
Top Gun Maverick X container 360. No, not 360. What are they up to now? Scorpion?
Dude, I have no idea. Mine is so old.
It probably says it. So, but look at this container. I'm afraid to open it. Isn't this the coolest thing?
That's awesome. I'm jealous.
How do I?
How's the Air Force guy get the Top Gun Navy?
Because I'm honorary.
Xbox.
Oh. You hear that? It started playing when I opened it.
I can't hear it. That's pretty cool, though.
It's playing the Top Gun theme song when you open the thing.
That's insane.
That is the most insane thing I've ever seen. What?
I'm super jealous now.
Look at that.
Super jealous.
It says, Microsoft Flight Simulator and Paramount are teaming up to celebrate the release of Top Gun Maverick. We couldn't be more excited to share this custom pack of gear with you. Replicate flyovers, flybys, and flight paths from the movie with the Microsoft Flight Simulator Top Gun Maverick expansion. Sincerely, Xbox Game Studios and Paramount Pictures.
Wow.
I got to tag Xbox partner when I finish with this.
Yeah.
That's cool. But dude, look, it's got some sunglasses.
Are you going to wear those on the regular? That's your new staple for this show.
For the rest. And it comes with an ascot. Oh, no.
Wait, what?
For ants. An ascot.
Yeah. It needs to be at least 3 times bigger than that.
It's got to be at least. Oh, it's playing again. You don't hear that?
No. That's pretty cool, though.
Dude, this is an X container.
That's awesome. Wow.
Isn't that badass?
That is. I'm jealous. Officially jealous.
It's funny. I would give this 6.9 stars because 6.9 stars is a good grade.
That's a lot.
Like, people get so triggered. They're like, Mover, I can't believe you said 6.9. It's like, have you not met me?
Yeah, that's your thing.
Is this your first day on Planet Mover?
That's your thing.
And look, the controllers even.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it says it on the back.
Wow.
Top Gun Maverick.
I'm definitely jealous of that.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm jealous.
Too bad Gonki's not here.
Thanks.
There's a case. Christopher Bates, Top Gun. Oh, for the glasses, of course.
Yeah.
And then I guess some cables to plug it into something. That is awesome. All right. Well, that'll do it for that. All right, go ahead with your mail. See what you got.
You really want me to show? I showed you this.
I got the
coin. I got the coin, right? So that was cool.
RMO.
Is that God, Air Force guys kill me. It's a coin. Yeah, I'm not going to read what personal stuff people send. Here's the thing that you're going to be. This is the best I can do jealousy wise. I also got a piece of the SR-71 from the Smithsonian.
Nice.
So I know you did too. He told me mine's better. I don't know why, but it's better. And then yesterday,
mine's right here still.
Yeah, mine's still better. I got this shirt, which honestly, it kind of, I dug it. So, we've talked, right?
We talk sometimes. Yeah.
What day is today? Today's the 28th.
Saturday.
I'm 3 days away from officially being retired.
Yeah, it's the 28th.
So 3 days away from being officially retired. Right, you got to take the glasses off. They're very distracting at this point. Dude, I see myself. That's what's distracting in them.
You're very pretty man, so you should just enjoy the fact.
That's true. Hold on.
Get to see what the rest of us get to see.
I got this shirt, which hopefully you could read it.
Wombat, the sailor, the myth, the legend. Okay, what? Let's go through each one. Do you know how to sail?
I had to take a sailing class in college for being in the Navy.
All
right.
Yes. All right. Do you
not well?
What is the myth of Wombat?
There's probably a couple, which can all come out on June 1st after I'm retired. But
okay, all right. Well, you know what? I lost my case already. See, this is what happens when you have a. I'm going to take these off just so you're not intimidated anymore because I can see
it's not intimidated. I feel
to distract
so...
you. And I don't want to put these in this nice carrying case like that.
It is distracting. That's a big watch you got there too. That's
nobody. It doesn't fit.
That's because you don't have it in there correctly or something.
That's what she said.
So that was my thing, and I thought that was really cool. The only other mail I got is some stuff that I'll be putting on the website, but that's about it.
All right, well, go buy a book. Oh. Dude, sorry.
No. Is this another picture of my Shelby?
No, we got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Got to do the thing. And the Thrustmaster thing is still valid. So if you guys want to get 20% off of that.
That's pretty cool you're doing
T-Flight HOTAS. It's the entry-level thing.
What does that go for? I don't even know.
I think they're about $80.
So
you get 20% off of that.
That's a good deal.
I mean,
it'll cover your shipping, taxes.
And it works on like PlayStation and the computer, so you don't just have to be on one system or whatever. But Thrustmaster is pretty cool. We're going to give one of those away eventually, and I got to figure out how. Right? If we can do something maybe with Folds of Honor, like a fundraiser or something to give one away, I think that would be really cool. Because they're also going to send me one of these, which is the grip for the. You might remember it from such films as Your Life.
True. Looks very familiar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is a spoiler in the movie, by the way. I'm just going to spoil it for you right now. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, very much so. I told you my paddle story, didn't I?
No, go ahead, though.
I really didn't tell you my paddle story?
I don't think so.
Oh, my goodness. We were doing, we were out in Fallon doing some training. And just so I don't get fired, put in Leavenworth before the first. We're doing some tactics where we are operating as a division singly, if that makes sense. And my wingman and I screwed up and were basically co-altitude way too low. And I pushed over on the egress to not become a giant fireball, and we missed each other, which was good.
Okay. Yeah.
But then the ground, which, as you know, has a
PK of 1.
PK of 1 came very quickly, and I pulled every G that Hornet had to not hit the ground. Got way too close to the ground. We'll call it double digits.
Yeah.
Double digits from the ground was what the rat out had when they pulled the tapes. And I never once pulled the paddle.
Really?
Yep. And when we got back and we debriefed, and it was a big debrief, and there were safety people there, obviously, and it wasn't a mishap. So luckily, they asked, they go, "Why didn't you pull the paddle?" And I was like, I didn't want to get in trouble for over G in the jet. So they're like, so you would have rather hit the ground and die than get in trouble for over G of the
Dude,
jet. I'm like,
that's
well, I wouldn't say that conscious thought was there at the moment, but
right.
it also wasn't. So
You say that, and that was in that mishap with the F-15 where you got spatially disoriented. You know, he's pulling 8.5 Gs, and he still had, like, he could have over G'd, but he just didn't because I think muscle memory, he didn't want to. Speaking of, not sure if I'm going to do this for Monday or not. I'm still debating. Maybe you can weigh in, but Memorial Day is kind of, but the AIB report came out for that fatal mishap at Laughlin.
Which one was that?
Two T-38s basically
don't do
ran
that.
into each other on a formation low approach.
I mean, do it eventually, but probably not Monday.
Yeah, I just don't know about Monday.
Yeah.
So anyway, paddle equals ACM. No,
False.
no. You never train for the paddle. Period. It's a last ditch thing. Like if you're wombat situation, wombat situation, last ditch, you're like maneuvering against some kind of threat, something maybe, but we don't train to use it. We train to fly better, to not have to use it. I don't know if the F-35 has a paddle.
Doesn't need to. It flies by itself. So
the paddle is not a G limiter. It gives you what, 33% more or 20 something percent.
I forget
it gives
the exact
you
number. But
it gives you over.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's look at the emails, and we can take some questions from the kids at home. This first one is from Zach. He said, civilian rides. Could you cover or give your opinion for people that would love to do this and what type of preparation we can do? And I'm assuming he means civilian rides in jets or just in general. What I would say, so to ride in the U.S., this actually just came up recently. You remember the Kissimmee group that got in trouble with the FAA? You ever keep up with stuff like that?
Is that the L-39s?
No, that was the P-40s and P-51s. So
I know the L-39s because I know the pilot.
What? No.
You remember the L-39 where they got way too close? Like,
no,
they were doing simulated dog. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
I haven't heard about that. No, I haven't.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time.
Yeah, this is so basically what happened last year. It was last year. The FAA came down and said for experimental aircraft, you have to be training. So used to, they were kind of lax with the rules. They could go take people for rides and stuff. Now you have to at least be qualified to be trained, which usually means a private pilot's license.
Oh, that's interesting.
To even go fly in one of these experimental type rated aircraft to get a ride. So there are no real rides for fun unless it's, I want to say, because a P-51 is like a limited. It's not a experimental. I think those count.
It's true.
But not the L-39s and the jets and the MiG-21s and the MiG-29s and all that stuff. So that was
you actually have to be legal to
pilot.
Be interesting.
Legal to be trained.
That kills their whole business model a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it?
Oh yeah. You don't just go rides for funds. Unfortunately, that would be, you'd have to have a private pilot's license to go do that now, unless they change it. But
that's a bummer.
Anyway,
I didn't realize they changed it.
It is a bummer. But the carryover effect was it affected all these people with RVs, like RV8s, RV4s and stuff, because you had to get approval from the FSDO to do training in your own aircraft. So where used to they would do their biannual flight reviews and stuff, now they had to get approval to get on the letter. It had so many unintended consequences. But the point, somebody asked, what's the point of that rule? No, you're not. What's the point of that rule?
Who is that?
What's the point of the rule is basically that the FAA doesn't want people doing joyrides in aircraft that aren't manufactured
for joyrides.
Well, they're not manufactured, right? They're unsafe. They've got ejection seats. They're not, they don't have all the lawyers behind them. Like it's thing.
I get it.
What makes them experimental now? They've always been, because they were never widely produced for civilian use. So that's the experimental side, is they don't have a registration. Like, some older warbirds actually did, but at some point they just became civilian for a civilian to fly it experimental because they're not mass produced for a civilian to fly it. I mean, and that's the thing. You don't have all the safety concerns and stuff like that. Love Wombat morning tweets. I told him I picture him tweeting it from a jacuzzi. Oh, he pictures you in a jacuzzi.
Yes.
That's the takeaway there.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Where are we at?
I have no idea.
This one's for you, Wombat, from Kevin. Perhaps you or Wombat can answer this question. I was talking with a former safety officer from the USS Enterprise. I'm assuming not Captain Picard one, but the ship.
Probably, yeah, probably.
And or boat, if you will. And he showed me a video of the E2 that snapped the arrestor cable, dropped off the deck, and miraculously flew away. His point of contention is that the E2 came in hot, snapped the cable, and one of his fellow Navy buddies disagreed. I said I'd post a question to you guys with Wombat being an E2 guy to get some consensus. Thanks in advance. Take care and all the best. Wombat, what say you? Was he coming in hot? I wouldn't imagine an E2 could go in at any kind of speed fast enough to snap a cable.
No, that's not true because it's all based on weight, actually. So, for instance,
right, but would they have the inertia? How much does an E2 weigh?
Heavy, very heavy. Actually,
are they really? Okay,
yeah, they are.
There you go.
It's a big plane. I know that situation very personally. They were not coming in hot. I've watched the video from the plat cam. They were on speed. That's complete BS. I'm sorry somebody told you that. Those pilots 100% did it right. And I mean, holy hell, did it right. So, yeah, did not come in hot. That's not going to do it. I agree with you, Mover, that the difference in speed of a few knots is not going to make a difference. What is going to make a difference is a worn out cable that needed to be replaced or a cable on the wrong weight setting. Like, for instance, the Hornet weight setting was 360. So the Hawkeye was not. It was probably 10,000 pounds more. So if you had it set for 360, well, it's going to pay out, and then it's going to hit the engine. It's going to snap. So
okay.
So it was a mistake, but not on the pilot's point. They did a fantastic job. So
fantastic. What is the question? I got this question here. Oh boy, here we go. Question about Top Gun flight, in-flight cockpit shots. Do pilots bounce around that much in real life? When they're in the backseat, they do. Was that due to them being in the back and not knowing what maneuver was coming? You bounce around. If you go watch my low-level video, you're bouncing around, especially with, around the mountains and stuff. You'll bounce around. The difference is when you're in control, you're kind of bracing a little bit better versus when you're just riding in the back. You're at the whim of whatever's happening. Like, it's a little hard to anticipate. Even if you are a pilot and you know what's about to happen,
sure,
it's tough in the back seat to kind of stay ahead of it.
Yeah, the easiest way to give an analogy would be like when your buddy Mick Bull one or whoever buys like his favorite race car, let's call it a Miata, and thinks it's something really impressive and takes you for a ride in the passenger seat. Like, you're gonna move around more than he or she will in that beast because they're anticipating it. You're not.
Yeah.
Also,
there was,
but
yeah. Oh, well, on that note, there is a kind of a common one for the movie where the guy hits his noggin on the canopy, and they blame it because they said so. The commenters have said, well, it's because the shoulder harnesses aren't tight because it was off to the side. And I've been trying to tell people that is not what keeps you in the seat under -G. It's the lap belt. The lap belt, seat kit, all that stuff tightened down is what keeps you from floating up.
Yeah.
So if anything was loose, it had nothing to do up here. It had to do everything around the crotchal region. And
because you're moving around. I mean, if you're flying that plane the way it's designed to be moved, you're moving, looking over your shoulders, looking around. You need the uppers to move.
And it's an inertial reel. Yeah, it's like a seat belt, It only locks if you...
exactly.
So that was kind of a misconception I think people get is they're like, whoa, it's
if
off
that
to the
guy
side,
was,
so it's...
Yeah, if he was bouncing around, it's because his lap belt wasn't tight enough, which is stupid, frankly.
I've done it. I've done it because you got to loosen it to pee.
Well, that's different. Tactically or in a dynamic environment, it should be pretty tight.
Okay. Is Mover drinking a mimosa? No, just straight up orange juice. I was. It's gone now. Anyway. Next audiobook, I need an audio narrator, and I just haven't gotten around to doing another set of auditions for that. Have you flown the F-18 on Flight Simulator? What do you think of it? Well, looks like I'll be trying it here on the old X
The
container. Xbox.
You're going to convert.
I'm going to be a full-up nerd. No questions. Cheers to you and Wombat and the gang for sharing your time and thoughts and even entertaining my dumb questions and comments over the past 18, 24 months. I hope Deuce and our other pals are you leaving us?
Yeah,
Don't you leave me, Alan.
At least he gave you some.
We have a very small group of fans. What's up, YouTube? Is that like when people start the video? Hey, what's up, YouTube? Time for another video.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go. Honest opinion. Do you guys believe we have a manned hypersonic spy plane, a.k.a. Darkstar SR-72? Probably.
I believe there's lots of stuff out there that your wildest dreams can't even imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of... Do I believe it had any business being in a Top Gun movie?
I have a theory. I'm not going to put it here unless you want me to, but I have a theory.
Put it. Stick it in.
Well, and again, I haven't seen the movie, so
there you go. You can't spoil anything.
It's not a spoiler, but we talk about this Darkstar, right, and all
Judy.
This movie was delayed for a very long time, right?
17 years.
Okay, but even when they said
dog years,
it was coming out, right?
Yep.
And I know everybody's like, "Oh, that was COVID," and there's some truth to that, I'm sure. But wasn't there stuff that was kind of leaked that led it to be more drone sci-fi with the At first, my theory is they got such negative press from that they went back and went, "Uh-oh." That's my theory.
I don't know.
I will tell you what I think after I see it. Okay. Hopefully in the next week.
I would say it's unlikely just because we went over the production assistance agreement and it was in there. And all the jet stuff was in there when they did it. So it existed, and they had to build the models and stuff. Maybe was that the
only production agreement, or was there an earlier one?
Yeah, that's the one that was executed with the Navy. Okay. When they filmed all the Hornet scenes. And because what they did is they went to Fallon or China Lake, and they built a mock-up of this thing. It was so good that the Chinese positioned their satellites overhead thinking it was a thing.
Perfect. That alone makes it worth it.
I mean, it was at least there at that point. I mean, I don't know. So Extreme Recluse, how far are you getting your rotary wing training? I got my commercial. Probably as far as I'm going to go right now. Which stream your Microsoft Flight Sim Hornet Flight? I've got to figure out how do you Twitch stream an Xbox?
How do you Twitch stream?
Well, I can Twitch stream off of this bad Johnny right here.
I don't know what that means.
It's the gamer channel I've got. It's got like 5,000 subscribers.
No big deal.
People watch you play video games. Haven't done much lately. I should. Technically, the SR-72 does exist after they got an aircraft company to build a real-life mock-up of it, and China believed it was real. See, there you go.
Yeah, now it's on the internet, so it has to be true.
The NASA's X-43 back in 2000 reached Mach 10.
But did anybody eject? Sorry.
Yeah.
I love that we're trying to make this, like trying to validate the reality
such different
of
career paths. Yeah, it's such a different dude,
I saw today
on engineering degree.
Yeah, I saw it today on Twitter, right? And like actually, because I was a little bit bored this morning and hurt my ankle, so I was rehabbing it and watching. The family was out. I was watching Top Gun original this morning for a little bit, just for the heck of it. And like when you watch that again, it's like, man, dude, they didn't let him into the academy. That dude went to Arizona State. He partied for 4 years. If we're making this a real story, he got in, he became a fighter pilot. Like, homeboy did not go to test. He did not. I mean, those are just not the things. But I love there was a tweet this morning that was like, how does an 06 afford a P-51? And it's like, okay, if that is where...
biggest. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, number one, this movie was made for entertainment purposes only. I would love to be on when you ruin it because it's frankly, it's going to be easy. And I haven't even seen it. But
I'm skipping the whole Darkstar part. I'm just going to, when I ruin it, I'm just going to stop at the Darkstar part and go, stupid, next. And just skip the whole thing because it would have been a good movie by itself. Like, I will say that, like, by itself,
sure.
like if they were like, you know, oh,
And
and
again, I
here's
haven't
how,
seen it, so I don't
here's
know. And
how,
I don't want
well,
to give
because
anything away.
they leaked the 13 minutes, you know, with the CinemaCon or whatever. And that's where I did a video about it. That's where the first thing, you know, they read it and they're like, you know, where am I, Earth? And they left it in. It's still there. I said it was stupid back then.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. So I just think that, again, it goes down, and it's the same thing. You get it, you know. Well, I guess that makes it cheaper than
Fidget Mustang.
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
God. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, continue.
It's fiction. It's made for entertainment. It's fiction. You know, I mean, I got it. You read some of the reviews about the book, and it was like, that's unrealistic. And it's like, dude, first of all, I guarantee you there's more stuff in that book that is more realistic than the average reader realizes, which is good.
Somehow switch to Treason Flight? How did this happen? I lost the
Isn't that
nexus.
what professional authors do? They always circle
about
back.
Whatever we're talking about. Let's talk about Treason
The
Flight.
point being is that to defend the reality of Top Gun Maverick is a waste of time. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's not realistic in so many levels.
I did get your email. I didn't read the article yet. Sorry. But calling it a Fighting Falcon is the least of my worries when it comes to like, if it's probably got a picture of an F-15EX or something. That's the least of my worries. Anyway, oh, here we go. Darkstar shows a pilot that will push the limits. It's just for that, an excuse for returning to Top Gun. How would you have scripted that part? I would have removed it completely.
Yeah, I remove it. Without seeing the movie, I can't tell you, but remove
it completely. Because, first of all, everybody knows Maverick's backstory. This is a sequel. But number two, there's a million ways you can show him who, you know, not following the rules without stealing a test aircraft in a test thing. Like, there's a million ways to do that. And not have him be what he should have been, which was hair, teeth, and eyeballs at the end of that scene. He should have just ceased to exist.
If that.
Like,
Pink
cease to exist. And then, if he did still exist, he's probably in really bad shape. And if he's not in really bad shape, the Navy has taken him away in handcuffs and phenobbed him. Like, that's it. That's the whole thing. You don't get any second chances after that. That's not, and now he's a 2 ejection guy. And 2 ejections typically is where you're done.
Fly P3s.
Yeah. He's flying the rest of the thing. He's the E2 guy at the end of the movie.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome.
That would have been
awesome.
Have you taken a Warbird ride? A little hesitant. I have not. I've only flown an L-39. That's the closest I've been to a thing. Yeah, I don't know if that's a spoiler because that was in the first 13 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
It was out.
So
everybody knows it.
Yeah. If they wanted to bust Maverick down to get him in a Top Gun, they would have recreated the volleyball scene with the old cast.
They couldn't. I mean, my God.
Yes, I am. In fact, that's probably where I've been lately. I finished the FTO.
God's work.
To road certify.
That, by the way.
Yeah, finish the.
You just do burnouts in your squad car. Don't answer. Just
I have a Tahoe. A Tahoe. I'm very fortunate. I've got a 2015 Tahoe with 142,000 miles. It sounds like the Predator when it's in park. It's awesome. I love it. I'm so happy. It's set up. It's mine. It's a lot of fun. Wombat. Movie said F-18 had a limit of 7.5 Gs normally. Is that true?
Yes.
Not only is it true, but you rarely get anywhere close to 7.
No.
You know, I mean, like...
Not if you're above 23 years old.
I've told this story a bunch of times. Maybe I haven't told you this, Wombat, so it'll be a new story.
Yeah.
I tell you about my first flight in the Hornet?
I don't think so.
So, you know, me coming out of the F-16.
Sure.
I go, and a Cat Other, there's no real structure to the Cat Other. It's not like the Air Force where it's like you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, or whatever. So we got to the airspace, and we had the big engine GE? You know, it was a slick big engine GE.
Nice.
And he's like, all right, what do you want to do? And I said, no, I want to try something. So we were like at 6,000 or 7,000 feet. I lit the blower and I went right on the limiter. And I'm just sitting there like, hey, dude, this is pretty cool. And my instructor's back there. Why? We don't do that in the Hornet. What are you doing? Stop. And I'm just rating around. I'm like, this is so much better than the Viper. Jesus, this is nice, because Viper, you'd be at 9Gs accelerating at that altitude, just hurting yourself. And he's like, we don't do that here.
That's not our forte.
Yeah. So, ever since then, I never pulled more than 7 unless them Tahoes are weird. They run an 11-to-1 compression. I have not checked. Not part of my pre-flight. It's not part of the pre. I don't do that.
Something you check?
Yeah. Tahoe, lucky. I'm very fortunate. I'm like, our reserve division is very good. I mean, obviously I don't get paid to do it, but I go out criminal patrol. You get all the tools everybody else has. Some of it I bought. Like I bought my own plate carrier and stuff because I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
Even though they've issued them. But we just got new Glock 17 Gen 5s. Ooh, just qualified on that. And then,
I've heard good things about that gun, actually.
It has a nice trigger from the factory. It really does. Has a nice trigger. Yeah, we can probably do that. There's a lot of, I've got 2 videos right now in copyright jail. So that's why I haven't done anything, because it seems like a fruitless endeavor when you start getting, videos that you can't get out of copyright jail. By the way, did you like what I sent you?
Very
Part
much.
1, Wombat?
I did. Okay. I did.
All right.
So now does that mean part 2 will go in copyright jail or no?
When I do it, yeah. That's why I've been lazy about it. What would you suggest to someone who's age 18 and willing to join the Army but cannot doing it because he's at another country?
Don't join the Army? Sorry.
I'm so confused.
I'm very confused, yeah.
So. All right, so is it the U.S. Army? That's the first question. And if it is the U.S. Army...
there's ways to do it, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know them all specifically.
Yeah, you can get your citizenship by doing that.
He said U.S. Army. He just said it.
Yeah, so. I mean, I would do it. If that helps you get citizenship and, you can get your GI Bill and stuff, I would do it. How frequently do you fly IFR? So IFR is every sortie. IMC is only when the weather's bad, right? We're always filed on an IFR flight plan. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, until you get to the airspace, or if you cancel and do a beach run back home, your VFR.
Yeah. Or if you leave Fallon and are going to Lemoore and you're lazy, you just want to get there quick.
Dude, Fallon was the best. Fallon, dude,
I know.
Say what you want
VFR.
about.
Can I tell you a funny NFO story?
As you as an NFO?
No. So we're coming out of Fallon, 2-ship, done with SFARP or something, going back to Lemoore, and our sister squadron, 41, 2-seat Foxtrot, right? So we're, hey, squawk 1200, go. And so they check in on an IFR flight plan. NFO's talking in the back, right? And they said they want to cancel and go VFR. And the controller's like, Roger, descend to this altitude, maintain whatever, squawk VFR, squawk, maintain VFR. The standard call that they give you if you're going VFR. And the guy goes, say again, squawk. And I'm like, oh God. And like, you could almost hear the pilot's thoughts in the front of that jet, like, stop talking, please stop talking, stop talking. I know what he means, stop talking. But the NFO, like 3 laps on what the VFR squawk is. And finally the controller from San Francisco is like, squawk 1200. And I was like, ouch. I'm like, it's just a different world when you sit back there. Anyway, sorry. It's a funny story. Brought me back.
All right, so he wants to fly helicopters or airplanes. I would say go fly Hornets, dude. I mean, if you got the choice, but no matter what you fly, it'll be an awesome career. You'll enjoy it. Make them tell you.
They still do Charlies up there, right?
Well, they're CF-18s. Okay. So they're their special breed of Canadian Hornets.
Legacy style Hornet, though, right?
Right, A through D. Yeah. Wombat, biggest learning curve from the E2 to the F-18 besides awesomeness?
Flying a conventional plane to a fly-by-wire. So that was the hardest thing. So, I mean, the E2 didn't trim itself. The F-18 did, all that stuff. So that was probably the biggest thing.
Mover, when you joined the Navy Reserve, did you buy a set of dress white uniforms? No. I borrowed a guy's old set of dress white thing. I might still have it. because he had somebody he couldn't fit in anymore because it's a reserve squadron. People fill out.
Yeah.
And so I was the young guy and they still had
They
rank on it or
enhance.
whatever.
They enhance.
Yeah, everything I got from the Navy, it was hand-me-down. My khakis, my the shoes, which the shoes, you know how I had a 18-wheeler blowout with those walking.
Those are horrible, man.
Oceania.
They're designed to be worn once.
I would walk through the thing and you'd see a trail of rubber behind me, like in the room. It was not good. I doubt it. I doubt the Hornets use metric system because the only people that use the metric system are the commies. And Canada is not full commie yet. Mover/Wombat. Well, he didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I already did a review. Go watch the review.
I had a little bit of a hard time with all the Top Guns looking like young people straight out of UPT. They are young.
Actually,
the first tour of JOs, aren't they?
Actually, Miles Teller's too old.
Is he?
Dude's 35.
Yeah,
Dude is 35. He's not a fresh out of Top Gun 03.
He's department head going to...
He's an 04, and he's crusty by now. And he's not talking about how all the stuff happened before because he's crusty.
Yeah.
He's a lieutenant commander by now.
Yes.
So
department head going on skipper tour.
Is the Hornet not a 9G aircraft? No, it's not.
I mean, anything can be once, right? I mean, let's be honest.
True. But you know, the Swiss Hornet is because they didn't do the wing fold thing. So it's not set up for the boat. So it's a different spar, I think. I think it doesn't flap.
It doesn't. That's how we get aboard. You don't see it on Platcam video, but that's how you get
Can you take us on a tour of your uniform closet?
Do you even have a uniform closet? I
got a closet.
I got a uniform pile that I have to go through and throw stuff out.
I don't know that you want to see my closet. It's not an organized thing. Mover, did you get my email about the A-10s landing on the highway? Probably. How often does that happen?
All the time.
Whenever they do it. Is there any way to know when that's going to happen to go watch? No. Is this like ISIS? Like, when can we know, infidel American? When can we know so we can catch them on the ground?
Matt Westlake. If I was going to come up with an American fake name.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
All right, back to the emails here. Hold on. This is for you, Wombat.
Yes.
Josh says, hello, Mr. Lemoyne, but I'm going to redirect this to you. I'm a senior in high school, and I am very adamant in pursuing a career as a Navy pilot. I was just wondering if you had any tips or things I should focus on, such as tests or civilian flight training, in order for me to have a better shot at achieving this. Thank you.
No. Just be a good person. Work hard.
Don't crush this poor kid.
I'm not crushing him. That's all it was. I didn't focus on anything at high school. Well, I can tell you what I focused on, and it didn't have anything to do with getting me a pilot slot. So just work hard, be a good person, be well-rounded. I mean, I'm sure there's aptitudes you could do out there, but it's not. I wish people would realize it, as long as you are physically capable, i.e., no disqualifiers, which again, you talk about that, with your stuff on how people think that the number of people that are physically capable are tiny, but it's actually a lot bigger because most people that do the job have waivers for different things. T and A. That's the key. But the thing is, as long as you get over the fact that, like, hey, I physically have enough, right? I'm close enough physically. Then anybody has the mental aptitude to do it. It's just, you just have to believe that you can do it. That's all it is.
Now, let's go back to the whole thing about me doing the cop stuff. There are some stupid people in this world.
If he's an 18-year-old kid that actively wants to do this, I give him the benefit of the doubt that he is not one of those people.
All right. I'm just saying, if he's one of those people that calls 911 because a bird shit on their truck, he's probably not going to be able to do it.
Well, he's also probably not smart enough to be watching your channel and actively seeking advice from crusty old people like us. So
that's valid. Every time I crinkle this bag.
So what I would say is enjoy being young, take care of your body, work hard, and go for it. And don't let anybody tell you no.
Mark said the same thing I almost just said, but I didn't want to interrupt your.
Thank you.
There were some, you were looking for, never mind. I'm going to get myself demotivated.
You don't know. Me. You don't know me
Demotivated,
at 18.
demonetized. Do you think Top Gun Maverick will popularize the Super Hornet?
Nothing super about a Super Hornet.
Wombat hasn't seen the movie. Don't spoil it for him.
Yeah. Oh, I know there's a Hawkeye there. As soon as that was out, every E2 pilot that's ever flown the plane knew we have a secret society, all 12 of us.
Okay, this is a great point. I really want to address this. I was going to address this in the Mover Runes movie, but I said this to my friend the other day, who's not a pilot. We were talking about just movies and stuff like that. If you had to rely on a crack team of fighter pilots to plan one mission, the mission would never happen.
Yes.
Because pretty much across the board, we're all the same. And that's the point. So, like any squadron with a training officer who went to Top Gun and division leads, section leads, four-ship flight leads, mission commanders, Air Force, Navy, whatever, they have the capability of doing it. So you don't have, like, the whole thing of they're the best of the best of the best is stupid. That's not true. They have more training and they went to another school, but that doesn't make them better. And there is no winner. Like, at the end of the thing, there's not like, oh, he's the best fighter pilot in the world because he won this school. It doesn't exist. So, like, I guess the thing with the movie is you could have picked 12 random fighter pilots and gotten the exact same results. In fact, in the movie, they act like they're just 12 random fighter pilots because none of them seem to know what's going on at any given time, which, okay, I don't know if that's a commentary on Top Gun or not. But so this idea that you would need, this crack team, it's not SEAL Team 6. There is no specialized fighter pilot unit that you would need to come up with. You would just give the problem to a squadron and go, here's your task.
Most current, most.
Yeah.
Yes,
you would give
100%.
the squadron that was already on that boat. You would say, here's your tasking, go get it. The training officer and the most experienced dudes would get together. They would pick their four-ship and they would go after it. And that would be it. You wouldn't need all this other stuff. So that's kind of a Mover Ruins movies, but I just don't want this misconception that, we only have a handful of people or a dozen people that are the best of the best and everybody else. And the same goes for these demo teams. I hear this a lot too. People are like, well, the bubble thing doesn't matter because the Blue Angels did it. The Blue Angels are a demo team. Any fighter pilot can fly a foot off another fighter pilot's wings. We do it all the time.
All the time.
They're trained to do demo routines, which there's no special skills to get to that. They just have different training. But
don't they say, like the Blue Angels say, their whole thing is basically the maneuvers that every pilot learns in flight school. It's just done low and in a fast jet. That's what I'm saying.
If you get to the point where you have wings on your chest and you are a fighter pilot or you're a pilot in the Navy or Air Force, you are already at that level. Yeah. With some exceptions, guys that can't keep up their quals or whatever. But if you have that qual, you're at the level, period, dot. That's... Yeah. I don't know. Wombat, do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I think your analogy of SEAL Team 6, again, I was never a SEAL. I have friends who were, but I think that's a good analogy. Like, we don't have that. It's and I think we talked about this beforehand, you and I offline. It was very much like, honestly, the best crew for that is the one forward deployed right now because they're doing it. They're carrier qual day, night. They're proficient. You need
proficiency. You're right. Proficiency.
Yeah, I want the crew that is on like month 2.5 of their 6-month deployment. So they haven't gone over the edge to where they're sick and tired of being there yet. They are lethal at that point.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, I think that is the misconception. And if I were to, I'm not going to talk about it because he gets into spoilers, but I have definitely...
Don't spoil it because I haven't seen it.
Like, I have notes. I have notes on the story.
Sure
and, it's funny, and I'm looking for... You're going to have to come back on the channel with your review because the difference between you and Gonky and me and Gonky, right? You and I have the same thing in common. We're writers. Yes. So we understand story structure, plot structure, character development.
I found what you said about that in your review very interesting about some of the character development too, which I'm looking forward to seeing because that is...
Yeah. Well, that took... I'll say this because it's not really a spoiler, but I think I took some heat for this, especially with the whole Iceman thing. if you go back to the first movie, right? If you were to break down Iceman's character, one of the coolest things about Iceman's character is Val Kilmer had no backstory. If you go watch his behind the scenes, he talks about that. He didn't have a backstory. So he made one up. He made up all that stuff, you know, the Iceman, like how he lived.
Right.
And if you look at how the two characters interacted, Maverick and Iceman, Maverick was the dude that, you know, he was a feel guy. I identify with that, right? I can do it, but it's hard for me to tell you. And
average
I will kind of
blue collar pilot type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's Maverick. Iceman on the other side is the strict adherence to the rules. He is the, you know,
Textbook.
It's written in blood, textbook. And he's very good. They're both very good pilots, but they just have very different approaches of doing stuff. So throughout this whole movie, they approach it from that perspective. Maverick's like, whatever it takes to get to this point. Iceman is, you know, dude, no, you have to do it what the book says or else you'll die. That's why, you know, that's why they butt heads. And at the end, they become besties because, you know, they kind of reach the happy medium and it's a character arc. What I had a problem with in this movie was Hangman's character because people said, well, he's the next Iceman. He doesn't have that character development. He doesn't have that reason for doing what he does. He's just a dick. And, you know, that's where I talk about they needed character development because they didn't have an underlying where you can go, oh, yeah, okay, well, that guy's doing it because, you know, they both have the same goal, which is true of any fighter pilot. Like, no matter if we disagree or not, we're all working toward the same thing. So that's what makes a good character, right? We're all trying to do the same thing. We just have different ways of doing it. In this scenario, that's not the case. This is the standard Mean Girls. Oh, I'm going to try to, you know, I want to be. And it's like, dude, that's bad writing. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know that triggers people, but it's bad writing. It's not well developed because it was more about explosions and more about this one character and everybody else was just whatever. So that's my rant on that. It's not because I think it's a bad movie. I think it's a great movie. You know, 6.9 to me was what it's going to get no matter what, you know.
But I mean, if you had those other aspects of it, it would have been a
6.9 plus. I still would have said 6.9 no matter what I did, but it would have been a 6.9 plus.
But it could have really been that blockbuster and that recruiting tool of the original.
If it had tighter writing where it didn't have this, well, we need to keep one-upping ourselves. That's the problem, is they keep trying to one-up themselves versus the first movie where it was like, this is a movie about jets. We're going to make Top Gun look good, you know, and we've got these strong personalities. That's what made that movie good. And it was all real jets. And you knew it was all real jets. You know this is all real jets too, but you know there's some composite shots. You know there's some VFX in there. So it kind of blurs the line. It's more of a Mission Impossible-ish thing. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to digress into this. What would happen if an M61 had rifle barrels instead of smooth? I don't know. That's science above my science levels.
Yeah, I'm sorry, business major here.
Yeah.
I know how to pull a trigger.
Can Air Force pilots attend Top Gun? They don't need to. They have what's called Fighter Weapons School, and it's a 6-month course. It's even harder.
Oh boy! All right, let's.
It's Top Gun for grown-ups.
Wow.
I also laughed about that too because I'm like, you know, if they'd have presented the problem from Top Gun Maverick to a weapons school guy, he'd have been like, "Yep, got it. See ya." Like, it wouldn't have needed all this. They'd have just been like, I'm going to plan this. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Because they've done the ME phase. They've done
of course they have.
the large force employment. You know, they'd have brought in all these assets and not tried to do it with one jet. Any updates on your next book? Eventually, I'm going to take some time, throttle back on the videos, which I've already kind of done anyway, but throttle back on the videos and start writing. I've got some ideas. Got to get this creative juices flowing. Anyway. I think have I opened the Hornet's Nest?
I hope so.
How's it harder? Longer days,
Great
longer
question.
Classes. Well, longer days, longer classes, and it's a longer course. There's more to it. The standards are higher. I mean, what is Top Gun now? 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
I don't know, but it's primarily air to air, isn't it? In Top Gun, whereas for you guys,
they do air to ground now too. I thought they did air to ground now too.
I don't know. I never went. Shocking.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a longer course that's more, you know. But, you know, if you talk to like dudes, you know, humble, credible,
plus, I mean, think about it though. I mean, 6 months, you got to get tea times in there. You got to make sure the beer's cold.
Dude, they literally go to the limits of crew rest.
I'm sure they do.
They make it so painful.
Vance Air Force Base. I am well aware of what the limits of crew rest are in the Air Force and how they can do it. And it's
Did you see the Air Force recruiting ad that was a dig at Top Gun? I laughed because I said at the end of that ad, they missed the 06 standing when they all landed to give them all a letter of reprimands, letters of reprimand. You know, here's your LOR for doing something that helps the Air Force.
yeah.
There will be none of that, sir.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
It's funny.
Did you guys attend Top Gun? Nope. I've done Top Gun support as an adversary. I've spent a lot of time with those dudes, and also WIC. I've done WIC support and Red Flag. And my knowledge extends only to that as an adversary. Does the Air Force Top Gun have a plaque? Well, because there's
What?
there's no reason
ladies'
to.
rooms anymore, right?
The Top Gun doesn't have a plaque for the alternates in the ladies' room. That was fiction.
There's also not ladies' rooms anymore. It's just generic bathrooms, right?
Non-binary rooms. How did you go into writing and storytelling? I've written 11 books.
What? You're an author?
Yeah.
You should put a picture of one of your 11 books up there.
No. We in the RDAF said on television that if they actually made a movie realistic, people would be bored because we don't do crazy stuff. We fly, we drop our GBU and get out. That's true.
Yep.
I think there's ways to do it, though. I really do. I think there are ways to
You can put a story
interesting
behind that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We saw that in Fly the Intruder, right?
Yeah.
They put a story behind all of the, basically, they came in, they dropped bombs, they got out. So you could do it. It just takes a writer to do it.
It takes a writer that knows. Like, you need to have the writer and the technical advisor working together in concert where they both understand the other's jobs. And that's tough because usually what happens is they write and the technical advisor gets in either after it's already been written or in the filming. And so it's very hard to change stuff later in the process. For that. Make sure if you exercise a weapon on the Hornet, do you get qualified in the use of different weapons? Yeah, you just do it. I mean, it's part of your qual.
You study a lot.
Do either of you plan to keep up flying in the civilian world? Wombat never. We've been flying civilian forever, huh?
Yeah, I'm about to upgrade.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Write a story, pitch it to Paramount. You can do it.
Oh, that sounds like a brilliant idea. I wish I had thought of that. If only. If only
there were such a thing. Somebody who drives one of these.
With a much nicer garage now.
With a much nicer garage.
I need to take a better picture.
All right, another email. We're getting long in the tooth here. It's about time.
No, it's fun. We're having fun. It's fun. It's Saturday.
This one is from Bradley. Hey, Mover, I can sources on Google for how many air-to-air kills the F-22 has. But everyone is different. Some websites say 100 plus kills and some say 29 kills. I just want to know what the real number is. Thank you for your time and response. Do people think we're living in like 1945?
Yes.
Like these air-to-air kills are so rare.
How many air-to-air kills have you gotten since we started this live stream? That's the reality of how people look at this. They think that it's like World War II.
What the bigger question is, since this live stream started, how many hate emails have I gotten? How many disciplinary letters will I get? And how many commenters are going to tell me that I'm not even a real fighter pilot?
It's valid.
What really happens if an 06 throws the NATOPS -1 into the trash in front of the CO?
Nothing.
You get exactly what happened. You get a girl who doesn't know the fire boldface and just starts mashing buttons.
Well, first of all,
sorry,
if an 06,
that's a spoiler, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is a spoiler. I'm sorry.
You said it in the last one too.
I'm sorry.
If an 06 throws the NATOPS in the trash in front of the skipper, nothing happens because the skipper is probably an 05. So,
well, in this case, this was a 2-star.
No. Well, then in that case,
because remember we're talking,
you froze
Maverick
up.
Team 6.
You froze up, man. My internet's better than yours.
Is my internet messed up?
Yeah.
Would you ever use conventional stories? I use special forces.
Yeah.
I don't use artillery. I've used special forces. Yep. Oh, you're right. DoD or its components, just in case you forgot.
Just leave that up. That's all.
Forever. Oh man, I don't know.
Movers for the US.
Why y'all got to come after me with this stuff? Mover has problems with his network. I don't know what to tell you.
No, it's better
seems
now.
good.
It's better. It's better. Good.
Okay. What's your opinion on look? Mover ruins movies. We'll talk about it. I don't want to spoil it anymore. It's a good movie. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a good movie. Turn off your brain. Just turn off the old brain.
It's easy for
Move
most.
on with your life. Just turn on. Look. It's jet pornography, and probably a little bit of old people pornography too.
Ugh, super.
Although it's Jennifer Connelly. It's Jennifer Connelly, so she's hot. Even, somebody pointed out that Jennifer Connelly would have been like 15 or 16 when Maverick did the flyby in 1986.
It's all right.
I don't think you should fly over a 15-year-old daughter of an admiral. That's probably why he got busted down. This is what the people want to know.
I didn't flake. I went on vacation with my family. I didn't think you were doing it.
Yeah.
You and Gonky have a different relationship.
Hello, Mover and Wombat. I'm 56 and have never flown and fear of flying in heights. Any advice on how to overcome the fear and get flying? So, yes, actually, I do. I had to take that video down. Eventually, it'll probably come back up, but I've had problems. I mean, I had issues. I got the yips. After some pretty tough times in the jet. Wombat, we've talked about this before. Mental health is a big thing.
It's a big thing you're not supposed to talk about.
First of all, you got to find the underlying problem. What is it that's driving this? What is actually causing this? But the second thing is, what helps is compartmentalization as you go through it. So, you have to find things to keep your mind busy. Whether it's just something small like, hey, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, or, looking at something in the cockpit, a display, looking outside, focusing on something there, focusing on your breathing. Lieutenant Colonel Grossman on combat talks about combat breathing, which is square breathing. So 3 seconds up, hold 3 seconds, 3 seconds down, hold 3 seconds, just to it calms you. Because that's really what it is. It's anxiety. So just
100%.
finding a way to do that. What helped me too is music. I had songs that, I'd
Just
start
like
humming to
Doug
myself.
Masters, right?
Yeah. I'd start singing to myself. You can't be anxious if you're talking. You can't be anxious if you're singing. It's just, it's because your body's, releasing some of that energy. So that's ways you can get through it, and eventually it'll just go away. You got to, you do that, and then you expose yourself enough to it, so to speak. Don't expose yourself to Penny Benjamin at 15.
That does not help upon flying.
Yeah. But eventually you'll get through it. And, you'll be like, wow, I can't believe you'll look back and be like, I can't believe that was ever a thing. What the hell? And so, yeah, that's my thing.
Or just vomit like crazy, like I did, and have a really good vomit bag and just get through it. It's awesome. Do it. I agree. This guy, AJ's he's smart.
Wombat rules.
I don't know.
Yes. Maybe it stands for, how steep would you typically dive in a fighter from how to approach, doing an approach and landing? 3 degrees?
Yeah.
2.5?
I don't dive to approach and landing.
I try not to dive for my landings. The first part of the question, I thought he was talking about bombing. Yeah, and then he just totally flipped it on me and he said landing. And I'm like, yeah. You should sell t-shirts with that DOD disclaimer. One day. One day. Could you two fellatios do a great fight in DCS live one day?
Impossible.
But why?
Because I don't have
Wombat,
DCS.
do you even know how to do a rate fight as a Hornet guy?
It's not my forte. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't my going in game plan.
Stories of guys rushing a squadron violating rule number 1 don't have any. Oh, dude, we never even answered the question that the guy had. we got so ADD that
shiny objects.
So that's we got to that. That's why. So what about the F-22s? Oh, we did. I mean, it's not Vietnam. Air-to-air kills are rare, but the Raptor has none. That's it. That's the answer.
Yeah, not that I know of. I mean,
it's not a Freudian slip if you say it.
Yes.
Like if you say something on purpose, it's not a Floridian slip. It's just a Floridian strip.
It's funny.
There you go. That's a Freudian slip. What's the maximum fighter pilot can weigh? First of all, Kami, give me this in pounds so that I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I need a calculator and a converter.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish.
The wasn't the Hornet 245 on the seat limit, but you can get a waiver.
Never came close, never cared.
Yeah.
Hey, Mover, imagine if there were special forces but with air power, like SEALs or Deltas. No. We don't need that. No. There's no need for that.
Everybody is SEAL Team 6.
Everybody thinks they're already special forces. So, you know, you got certain communities that all they do is air to air, and they think that, you know, they are the specialist of forces.
Are we still making fun of Eagle guys or no?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well, I get confused because you're the Air Force guy. Like for us,
it is certainly not 200 pounds. It's way higher than that.
I'm pretty sure the Hornet was 245, but you could get a waiver about it.
The reason you haven't heard of any Raptor kills is because it was in stealth. No, Jessica Biel was in stealth.
Yes. Did you move? You could not ruin that movie.
I could not ruin that scene, but the whole movie was very ruinable.
Yeah, but that scene was amazing. Oh my God. I want to join.
Here we go. So, we just talked about this. That was the AIB that came out Friday. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done any because none of them come out lately. I don't know if Monday is the day to do it. I mean, in one hand, it is kind of a good tribute, you know, sure, because we're remembering, but it's a very serious thing. And I don't know. Those are hard to do. They're tough.
Let's talk offline on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Would you go to U.S. Army Ranger School? No. No. Why? No.
So much no.
No. This one's for you, Wombat.
Yes.
Is it as hard as it looks, so to speak, to land on an aircraft carrier? I've heard it's easy.
Well, now it is. It does it for you, but it depends on the plane. But yes, it's not easy. We train a lot.
I think there's some misconceptions about special operations. Wait, let me go back to this because the comments are still talking. We kind of moved on. First of all, yes, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Anytime you lose somebody in this business, it's tough, especially somebody so young. You know, he's a good kid, doing well. You know, it takes microseconds. You know, it's not something that, you know, it's a dangerous business. And when we read these reports, you always see an error chain. You always see a series of events, the Swiss cheese model, if you will. And it's the whole time you're reading it, you wish you could just scream at the people, you know, no, don't do that. Don't do, you know, and
just break the chain.
It's tough because what happens is we as aviators, and the reason I do them is because we as aviators, even people that watch this channel that are wanting to follow those footsteps, I think that even if you don't know what you're talking about, if it's explained to you, maybe one day down the road, you're kind of cognizant of this is a dangerous business. You can't let your guard down. I remember this one time I saw this video on this one thing, and the education part is good. It is tough for the families to relive it though. And I understand that. And that's been the tough balance that I've had with these videos is realizing that, yes, you know, clearing the misconceptions and, you know, so people always say pilot error and there's no amplifying data. Well, it's not just because pilot error, because somebody did something wrong necessarily, but because there was a sequence of events that didn't get stopped in time. And so the families, on the one hand, I've had a lot contact me and go, dude, thank you. Thank you for, you know, honoring their memory and, you know, trying to set the record straight that it wasn't just, you know, what the media said it was. But then on the other hand, it's very tough for them because they're reliving something, you know. And now, granted, I don't expect family members to be watching my channel. You know, I don't know, but if they do, or if they see it, it's just very tough. So it's a very fine line, and it's a very tough thing to do. But I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
And also, and that's not over, because as far as I know, that the instructor pilot that was with him is still in very, you know, he's in the recovery. Like he's in very bad situation. Like he was very critically injured through this. So it's just tough. It's just tough. So yeah, back to what we were talking about. I think there's some misconceptions about what special operations mean, special forces are and do. It doesn't really make sense to apply that to air combat. Exactly. You don't need a specialized unit of F-16s or F-18s, because we all can do any of that stuff. Can you explain engine out procedure versus Wombat? You still remember the boldface for the Hornet engine firelight? Yeah, we can do that when we ruin it. They don't push a button to land now. Now there's the magic carpet, which just makes it easier. It's more stabilized.
As long as it works.
Yeah. How did Wombat get his call sign?
Not gonna happen.
It's like asking Donkey how he got his call sign.
That's definitely not gonna happen.
Wombat, how tough is boat life?
There's times where it's really tough, but there's times where it's awesome too. Just like every other aspect of life, there's goods and bads.
Hey, Mover, in the past 6 months, our mixed race of F-18s and F-16s and F-16s have intercepted almost 425 Chinese aircraft in the southwest ADAs of Taiwan. What do you think?
It's a lot of
Godspeed.
Work. Yeah.
I mean, I seriously, Godspeed, because I think these are globally some turbulent times.
I have never pooped square to my knowledge.
What about the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment? I think they're awesome. But you got to understand, they are designed to integrate with ground special forces, SFODD, and those folks. So it doesn't really translate to fixed wing aviation, because we don't need to. We always integrate. Like I've supported those missions in combat, you know, SEALs, Delta, all that stuff. You know, they're down there, but I mean, it doesn't change what I do. I have my tactics. They know how to talk to me. It's the same no matter who I'm talking to, unless it's emergency CAS, in which case it's very different. You know, because emergency CAS is with an unqualified controller, somebody that's on the ground that doesn't speak 9-line, doesn't speak my language. So I have to try to get the information out of them without inadvertently having a friendly fire incident.
The Navy had, I don't know if they still do, but they had a helo unit that was like a specifically Special Forces 60 unit out of Norfolk.
And it makes sense for that, you know, because you'd want
100%. You got to go in, you got to.
But a fighter unit, it doesn't. It just doesn't in the fighter pilot world, you know, because any fighter pilot is doing it. Mover, I recall you saying you were assigned to VFR. I think it's 414. I'd have to go back and look, but I think it's 414. One's DP looked like an F-16 with Hornet engines. Oh, wow. Never. Is it true that don't have hands on stick or throttle will launch on the carrier in the Hornet?
No, not true. False. You don't have your hand on the stick. You have your hand on the throttle, because you would never want the throttle to come back on the cat shot. Your hand is on the towel rack.
HS 84 and 85 both have been decom. There you go.
So
somebody's got the info.
My buddy used to be at 84, so that's.
Mover, if you were to one of your stories, which one would you most want to be adapted in the movie? Ooh, good question. Depends on what my mood is. If I'm in the cop mood, I would say one of the Shepard books. If I'm in a flying mood, I would say Spectre Rising or Finney Flight. Finney Flight would be cool, because then you get flankers and, you know, A-10s, and that'd be a cool book to do. It'd be expensive. You'd need $200 million budget, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about VTOL jets, Wombat?
They had their place. I don't think they really do anymore, especially not a top secret one.
Okay. Wombat, what's your favorite aircraft?
The E2. It's right there. I don't know.
Okay.
Every
Which actor would you like to be the main protagonist in a movie adaptation?
You got to get that done quick soon, or else you're going to get too old for the characters.
I can't even play my own character. I can use my acting, Gary. That would just be another career. I've done all the other ones, and just add one more to it. Or I can be like, who's the actor that always plays himself in every movie? Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
So
if not me,
I would pick somebody else. I just don't know.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick to play
Rattler?
Rattler.
I don't know. Clint Eastwood's son was somebody that
Scott Eastwood.
Yeah, they recommended him, which I thought that'd be good. He's played some good roles. Yeah, well, for mine, it's a no-brainer. Like, we know who Sandy's going to be. Yes. Thatcher?
Margaret Thatcher.
Is that who?
She died, didn't she?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Why does everybody care about my chair so much? I'm going to have a YouTube.
If Shatner can still land roles, make them tell you no. First of all, I'm not even 40 yet. They're like...
I love how old people think you are.
I mean,
fantastic.
Come on,
it makes
man.
me feel good. At 65, Mover, you could still have a chance.
It's not too late, Mover. You're old and retired. You're older than Tom Cruise as Maverick. You should know about being washed up. Why didn't you like that?
Oh, my gosh. That's
Wombat Garage is triggering indeed. Do you play DCS at public servers? No, but I have played iRacing at public servers, and it's very uncomfortable. Because you have to play under your name, CW Lemoyne or whatever, and so it's like it just like I feel bad because I'm trying to be. It makes me have to drive better because I can't. It's people are like, oh, I know that guy, and
you're so famous. Whereas if I did mine, they'd be like, who?
Yeah, you could just crash into people, nobody would care. Now it's like, oh, why does this question keep coming up? No, who cares? Why would Why would I want to land on a road?
I've landed on exactly as many roads and highways as I've wanted to in my career. And that's as many kills as the F-22 has.
Okay. How relevant and important is the Marine Corps fast jet capabilities?
It's hugely relevant and important. You need it. They support those guys. It's the same as what we all do. And Marines can speak Marine, which is important. So I like that aspect of it. So it's important. But I do not like the idea of having a however many $billion plane V-stall landing in a field somewhere to refuel. Like, that's just not realistic. The Harrier, sure. The Harrier, whatever. Nah. So, but.
They really want to know what you think about infantry. Did you say something already that pissed them off?
Apparently. I don't know. Marines are awesome. I don't know why.
See, that's the rub. I want to see a Mover movie just for him to ruin his own movie.
Nope. It would be Gonky and I would come on your channel to ruin your movie. You would not be able to be here.
There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure in that.
That'd be awesome.
There's a lot of pressure. But you know what? It'd be like, at that point, I'd be like, I don't care. I made a movie.
Oh, yeah. No, you'd be real worried about it in your private island, right?
Is it possible to make a video game of your books? Yes. Oh, yeah. It'd probably be more like a Battlefield kind of thing, though.
Yeah. Maybe your books on mine. Mine's not a video game.
Fighting, our two longest war, we had one air-to-air kill this century, 18 June 2017. Yeah. Was it an E? I thought it was a F or a G.
It wasn't a G.
I thought a Growler had an air-to-air kill.
No. What?
Really? I thought they shot their one missile.
I don't think so.
Well, okay, it was definitely an F because it had 2 people in it.
Okay, well, then
Pretty sure.
enough.
I don't know. Maybe. A kid who's a lover of aviation becomes a fighter pilot, then a YouTube content creator. A fine film idea. No, it'd have to be like a real movie.
Yeah.
HSC 84 and 85. 84 was decom. 85 was flying out of North Island, but I heard a rumor that Navy's getting out of soft flying.
Doesn't surprise me.
How long would it take you to fly a newer airframe? A couple weeks.
Yeah. Why, do you have one that you want to teach me on?
Yeah, shit, why not? If you really pulled 9.5 Gs in the Hornet, do you expect a master caution light? I would expect an 811 though.
Nope. You do not need to pull 9.5 Gs in a Hornet to get a master caution light. Trust me.
You would get
They come pretty much on every flight.
You get some blends. You get an 811.
Sure.
Yeah, 904. Is it 904 or is that the hard landing?
903, 904 were the hard landings.
Yeah. Get one of the nerds.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
In your opinion, is 29 too old to become a fighter pilot in the Guard? No. Next question.
No.
Remember the Fallen. Thanks, Gary. That's a good
Agreed.
point. Yeah. In a 2-seater, do you both get the kill? I think so.
You both get the traps. You might as well both get the kill.
Yeah, mover, you'd have to find a way to get Luna in the movie in the back seat. Yeah, that's true. Yes, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I turned around and landed.
Nice. Why?
Yeah,
so you really had to go?
We were dropping. Well, because dude, the Gee Dunk had it was like, I forgot what we were eating, but whatever it was, by the time we got to the live ordnance loading area, it started hitting me. And then we got delayed. And then my wingman ground aborted. And I got to the end of the runway and I was like, oh boy, this is not good. And I still pushed through it because I'm like, when I get airborne, it'll be fine. But it got worse.
Yeah, I know. When you take pressure off your body, that doesn't make it.
Yeah.
That's
so
science.
I got over New Orleans and then straight, like I was just hitting 13,000 feet on climb out going to the range. And I told approach, I'm like, I'm going back to New Orleans. They're like, do you need assistance? I said, no, but I'm going straight to downwind. I'm landing. And no kidding. Come back, land, got him to haul in the truck or whatever, got to the thing, made it to the bathroom, survived.
Good for you. We were on Catapult 2 once on the ship, and my co-pilot, who is a Department Ed 04, had to run out and go before the launch. And we were blocking the whole launch because we were going to go first off the Bowcat. And he got back. But
I had a flight lead in Iraq that shut down his jet and got out and went to the porta potty, and I had to sit there and wait for him before we were launching out.
That's awesome.
He was the squadron commander.
That's awesome.
See the new Escalade? Yes, I love them, but they're going for 30 to 40 over MSRP.
I saw one the other day too, and I was like, as a non-GM guy, that's nice.
Dude. But get this, 2020, which I reached out to. Dude, this is so. Micah Musio, the helicopter / GM or not GM, automobile reviewer guy. He put me in touch with a guy at GM, and the guy never responded to me because I was like, "Hey, dude, like to work with you guys, do some stuff."
Yeah.
But in 2023 model year, so at the end of this year, the Tahoes are getting Super Cruise and some of the stuff from the Cadillac.
Okay.
So I like them. Yeah, instead of mover, it's pooper.
Oh, it's a mover.
There were some funny. There were some funny pictures in the ready room the next day.
Oh, I bet.
Like people, it was ruthless, dude. It was hilarious. Requesting the flyby, they had the picture like Maverick, buzzing the tower. Because, dude, I did a reverse shit hot break to downwind.
It's called the approach turn. You're like, just get me on the ground.
Yeah, dude. I was like waiting for the flaps to come down, because it was trying to slow down so they'd finally.
Hilarious, man. That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see here. No, not Air Force Gee Dunk. It's Gee Dunk, therefore Navy. This was Navy Tongue. I think it was.
Yeah,
I want to
there's
say it was Hot Wings or something. It was something, dude.
it's smart. It's good for
Right
you.
when it hit me. Have you ever sold the Hellcat? Nope, still have it.
Nobody wants to buy that.
What are you talking about? It's faster than your Mustang.
Well, it's not a Mustang, so if we're just going to start lying to each other, it's fine.
How much fun is cloud surfing in a jet? It can be fun.
It does not suck.
You know what I thought was interesting about cloud surfing is when you're chasing somebody, I thought the G's were worse doing tail chase than if we were just doing BFM. I guess it's because you weren't expecting it or whatever, you know, because you
not
just
expecting it and not as amped up. The adrenaline's not there in cloud surfing as it is BFM. I think
it was.
Yeah, I agree.
What makes Top Gun training more intense? Nothing. It's just a higher. It's
graduate level.
Graduate level. There you go. It's graduate work. It's a higher level of understanding. It's more coursework. It's more debrief. It's higher standards as far as, you know, okay, you got to be able to teach this. You got to be able to understand this. You got to come back and show the concept and show what you did, student errors and stuff like that. It's just, it's the same thing as like, so like BFM is BFM, right? Whether you're a student on the wing, level 1 or MQT, a flight lead or an instructor pilot. It's the level you're expected to understand it and come back and debrief it and execute it that changes. So, you know, when you're a wingman, if you can get to the turn circle, get to some weapon solution, okay, right? We're happy with that. But when you get to the flight lead level, okay, well, we expect you to lead that safely. And then, you know, we want you to be a little bit better. And then when you get to the instructor level, okay, now I need to be able to assess airborne what you did. You know, and be like, okay, it was an early turn circle entry, it was a late turn circle. Like you have to, it's just a little bit higher expectation, but it's the same stuff. So,
agreed.
That's all. Let's see. Come on now, what? You're flying in the 30 block. So if you were in the 30 block,
engagement, right?
You'd be the 30 to 34, right? Yeah. You'd be 0 to 4s or 5 to 9s.
Yeah.
Because they're
So no, you're right.
So you'd be 30 to 34 or 35 to 39. I guess. I don't know what these other numbers are for.
I don't know. Maybe
if you're talking like just flying around like you're an airliner, you got to be at 30,000 feet. Like that's it. You don't have all this other stuff. You should just be at 30,000 feet. Now, they'll violate you if you hit 29,700. It's the opposite of what you're saying. You get plus or minus 300 feet before the FAA will call you and say, what are you doing? Actually, it's less than that in RVSM.
It is.
Right? Isn't it like 100?
I think so. I don't know. Don't ask me civilian aviation questions.
I'm sorry. I thought you were an instructor.
I am.
I got that idea.
My brain's full, man. I've been on vacation.
Yeah.
Slowly letting some of that leak out.
Yeah. Mover Wombat, what are your favorite non-flying war movies? Oh, man. Is Black Hawk Down considered a non-flying? I guess not, huh?
I mean, it's helicopters. So.
I mean, Saving Private Ryan.
That was good.
Band of Brothers. It's not a movie, but it's a series.
Yeah.
And The Pacific. Those were all real good.
Yeah, those are good. I like all those.
Are patches that stuck up and scary? In the Air Force, they're not. They should be humble, credible, and approachable. The Air Force side, you should be able to go and ask any question. And they may, you know, fear, sarcasm, and ridicule might be a thing, but at the end of the day, they're going to answer your question and try to make you smarter.
Sure.
My experience with Navy patch wearers has not been great, but that's specific to VFA 204 and not other squadrons. So I don't know how Wombat, you can talk to that more than I can.
Are we still answering this question? No,
I think do it.
No, it's fine. It depends on the personality of the individual, just like everything else.
Yeah.
It depends on the personality of the individual. The individual's personality goes with them when they go into these jobs. If they are a laid back, approachable, friendly person, they're going to be that way no matter what role they take on. Yeah. Period. If they're a douche, they're going to be a douche no matter what.
Ideally, they pick people that have that personality before they go.
Sure.
Right. But well, what are the top 5 flight movies if Mav barely makes it in? Top Gun, Iron Eagle. What movie did we just watch?
Flight of the Intruder.
Flight of the Intruder. That's what I was thinking of. Flight of the Intruder.
That was good, wasn't it? Be honest.
It was good. No,
Yeah.
that's why it's top 5. It's a good movie.
Mhm.
They did a good job with that. I'll have to think of the rest.
You don't just have a list next to you on your desk.
I don't sit here with a
top
list
5.
of my top 5. Any GCI stories or things they mess up, dude? That would take the rest
whole
of the
video.
afternoon.
That's a whole. That'd
Yeah.
take the weekend. Kidding me? Hot shots.
Hey, Mover and Wombat, can a Hornet actually fly through a canyon like it did in this movie? Yeah, Star Wars canon.
Yeah.
How fast
Have you
could it
ever
actually
flown
go? I flew some low levels at Fallon, but
You
I
didn't
never
do
flew through Star Wars canon. No,
It's
never got
fun.
to.
It's fun. It's tricky.
How-
It's fun.
Wombat, this one's for you. How comfortable is it to poop on that chair behind you?
Because it's a chair, not very comfortable. So, because there's no.
Dude, be careful with Bang. I didn't know this, but a single can of Bang has 300 milligrams of caffeine,
Is
and that
good?
contributes to anxiety. No, it does. if you take that in addition to other caffeine sources, or drink 2 of them, you will have some kind of anxiety.
You have some kind of kidney stone is what you're gonna have.
Yeah. So I would just be careful with that. All right, we've reached the end of our, I think, effective
It's off
mover
the rails now.
mailbagging. Yeah,
It
we've
is.
lost the mayor has lost control. The mayor
Yes.
has lost control. Hold on, let me get back to. How do I get rid of that comment?
I don't know. It's your channel.
There we go. Mover, how would you reboot Iron Eagle?
Can you? It's such a realistic story, right? I mean, you got a guy who's over there,
Reservist that
his
doesn't
kid.
care. He's got a reservist.
/ sim instructor that comes back. I mean,
He's not a sim instructor. He's a reservist / mechanic.
he goes into the sim though, so he's everything.
Paratroopers. No, he was doing a teep. He was doing a flying teep, so he couldn't get on the schedule, so he had to get paid like a typical reservist and was in the sim, and the kid was taking his money.
Yeah, it's realistic.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
The best part of Iron Eagle is when he races the Cessna and the dirt bike. Hands down.
I'll tell you this, Dean. Any kind of medical questions, if you really wanted answered, email me.
Yeah.
At cwlemoyne@cwlemoyne.com, and I will I'll try to get I got a flight doc friend that answers a lot of questions, and will answer your question for you because I have no idea. All I can say is make them tell you no. But if you want an actual answer.
It's awesome.
Oh, hey, follow Wombat.
Yeah, go follow me
on the gram. Follow me anywhere.
I would.
If you want to get triggered very easily, you can follow me on any of those things. I never met Chuck Yeager. No, that's a missed opportunity. 5 bangs a week in the field.
Ugh.
Is Louis Gossett Jr. still alive?
I don't know.
Oh. All right. Well, I think that's
Is there
enough.
a
People are saying goodbye.
between UPS and FedEx pilots. No. Nobody cares when you're in the civilian world. That's hilarious. Sorry.
No. All right. Wombat, parting shots.
Nah, man. Thanks
nice
for having
Mustang.
me. Get a new
buy a book.
Sure. Thanks.
I
got nothing.
Get 20% off of these things.
Nice.
It's actually nice. I mean, it's a good setup.
It's a little closer than I remember it in the jet, but
well, you can separate them. So like if you're just sitting, if you're just sitting on your portable shitter that you got in the back corner there, you'd put it like this. But if you had a desk, you'd do that.
Don't hate on the chair. I've got 2 of them.
Dude, that literally looks like the thing you put in a hospital over the toilet so that you can, like, it helps you poop.
Okay.
Does it have stirrups? Are you doing exams back there?
It's a very, very, very comfortable chair.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, like I said, the views presented are my own or my guess and do not represent those of the views of DOD, which is Department of Defense, or its components, which is like the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines.
I don't care what they
Army.
think of my chair. That's for sure.
Well, I just so people know the thing. Okay. Well, I say good day.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Wombat.
Bye, buddy.